Not since the days of Patrick Vieira have Arsenal had a midfield general like Declan Rice.
Okay, we must speak seriously about how good Declan Rice is right now. Because what we're watching isn't just a top midfielder. It's the evolution of the most complete central midfielder in world football.
Andrew Trossard clips one in.
When Arsenal paid £105 million to bring him from West Ham in 2023, the expectation was simple. Replace Thomas Partey, shield the defense, and dominate transitions as a traditional holding midfielder. And yes, he did that job flawlessly. But what nobody expected was the transformation that came 6 months later. After a winter training camp in early 2024, when Arteta pushed him into a new box-to-box role that completely altered the trajectory of Arsenal's midfield.
The position of the wall is questionable, especially when you have two men off the ball. It cannot only be four players there because that ball is easy to bend around. But for Declan Rice to realize it and whoever was with him also to let him do it, that's outstanding. And you can see it, by the way, how much the Arsenal fans are in love with Declan Rice, and a lot of people are. There's always a debate, is it that great or not? But again, I'll go back to Mikel Arteta and what he did to put him in a position where he was going to show what he's good at.
Suddenly, Rice wasn't just cleaning danger, he was creating it. His attacking numbers exploded, finishing last season with a career-best return of 9 goals and 10 assists. Numbers unheard of for a player who arrived as a pure number 6. And this season, he has 2 goals and 6 assists. But even that version of Rice feels small compared to what we're seeing today. His role has continued to evolve in ways almost no one predicted. He is no longer a number 6, nor a number 8. He is everything in between, operating in a dual pivot with Martin Zubimendi that gives him license to appear absolutely everywhere on the pitch.
Rice again.
One moment, he's protecting the back line. The next, he's bursting into the box. Then he's orchestrating possession like a deep-lying playmaker. And 2 minutes later, he's sprinting 60 yards to win a tackle in the corner. No midfielder in the Premier League covers more ground with more purpose. And then there's the set pieces.
Declan, on the back of that win, I've called Arsenal the best team in Europe right now. And speaking to you, I think I'd put you as one of the best, if not the best midfielder in Europe.
Arsenal haven't had a dead ball threat like this since the days of David Beckham in the league. Curling deliveries. Violent free kicks. Long-range bombs. Every ball Rice touches feels like a warning siren. Just months ago, he was nominated for the Puskás Award for that outrageous free kick against Real Madrid in April.
There's no way he does it again. There's no way he does it again. Rice for the double.
And this season, every dead ball he hits carries the same danger. Atletico Madrid felt it. Newcastle felt it. Every opponent feels it. But the real fear comes from the fact that Rice's attacking threat doesn't end with set pieces. His late arrivals into the box are now one of Arsenal's deadliest patterns. His total of 31 Premier League goals and assists across the last 3 seasons prove he's not just a destroyer, not just a passer. He's a finisher. And when you combine that with his physical dominance, his anticipation, his press resistance, his intelligence, and his leadership, you begin to understand why Arsenal's rise under Arteta is tied directly to him. Because nobody runs like Declan Rice. Nobody tackles like Declan Rice. Nobody carries the ball through midfield the way he does. Nobody dominates space the way he does. And nobody in world football has managed to merge the roles of number 6, number 8, set-piece specialist, defensive anchor, attacking threat, and tempo controller into a single player the way he has. If Arsenal are the most complete team on the planet right now, then Declan Rice is the engine, the heartbeat, and the standard. And this season, he's playing at a level that should terrify everyone. Before we dive into the monster of a footballer Declan Rice is today, we need to understand the journey that shaped him, because nothing about Rice's rise was straightforward, linear, or expected. Arsene Wenger only needed 20 minutes to notice him, watching a West Ham under-18s match at London Colney, where Rice was playing 2 age groups above. And what makes that moment even more remarkable is that Rice had only recently been converted into a center back. Up until a preseason game against Colchester United, he had always been a midfielder. After that match, he told his coaches Steve Potts and Mark Phillips that playing at center back allowed him to see the whole game, a detail that reveals just how naturally Rice understood football even as a kid. But Rice's path to the top was immediately shaped by something brutal. The moment Chelsea released him at age 14. His technical ability had never been in doubt, but a sudden growth spurt left him struggling to coordinate his body, and Chelsea decided to let him go. The news stunned many, including John Terry, who personally called Rice as he sat on his bed next to his dad to tell him to not give up.
Why at 14, looking back now, would Chelsea let the player that you are now go?
Honestly, to this day, I still honestly don't know the exact reason. I wish I did. I think it was probably down to the fact that when I was a kid, I was actually tiny. I was going through a massive growth spurt at the time. You know, my body wasn't all connected together. My running pattern was really weird. Technical ability was fine, but in terms of the physical aspect of it, the running, I was struggling. I couldn't keep up with other kids, and I think maybe in the end, maybe that was a thing that they thought that I couldn't probably grow out of. But I feel like, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, maybe if I stayed at Chelsea and got that contract, I might not be where I am today.
That phone call became a turning point because everyone who knew him remembers the same thing. Rice didn't collapse. He doubled down. At Grey Court School, he was already the star, the box-to-box number 8 who dominated school matches. His PE teacher, Steve Wilmore, even moved kickoff time so Rice could play before his mum, Stephanie, picked him up with a tub of pasta to drive him to Chelsea training. Wilmore still remembers the conversations after Chelsea let him go. Rice wasn't broken, just determined. And when the offers arrived, he didn't take the easy one. Fulham was closer to home, but Rice chose West Ham, chose to leave everything behind, chose to move into digs in Romford and started a new school because the challenge was bigger. It was the harder path, and he took it. Even then, Phillips wasn't completely convinced West Ham should sign him. They already had strong midfielders in his age group, but head of recruitment Dave Hunt pushed, insisted, and won. And soon, Rice became a favorite, a joker off the pitch, a machine on it. He took training seriously, demanded to win every drill, set the standards, but he still had to fight. When many teammates earned scholarships with pro contracts attached, Rice got only a straight scholarship. That rejection lit another fire in him. "I'll show you," he said, and he did. His break came at a youth tournament in Belgium, where friends of Slaven Bilic watched him dominate every game. Suddenly, he was invited to train with the first team. Phillips warned him, "Don't be too flash, don't be too quiet. Find the balance." Rice nailed it. Mark Noble remembers the moment he first realized Rice was special. A training session where Rice, as a center back, intercepted a pass, strode out with the ball, and pinged a diagonal with fade like it was nothing. Noble said it looked so natural, and from that day, he took Rice under his wing. He already belonged, he said. Before Arsenal, he captained West Ham, made 245 appearances, scored 15 goals, lifted the Europa Conference League,
Stays down, Bowen's through, one-on-one, hits the shot!
and made his debut aged just 18. Every step, every rejection, every detour, every challenge built the midfielder we see today. And then came the leap. Arsenal broke their transfer record in the summer of 2023 to sign him.
Okay, good morning everyone. Before we start the review what happened in Germany, I would like to obviously welcome our additions to the club, our family. Declan, welcome to the family.
And Rice immediately took off. 7 goals, 8 assists in his first Premier League season, including a late winner against Manchester United.
Twisting, turning, finding Rice!
A dramatic 96th minute winner at Luton Town. And a crucial goal at Chelsea. He finished second in Arsenal's Player of the Season vote in 2023-24, and then went one better the following year. 9 goals, 10 assists, outrageous free kicks against Real Madrid.
I can tell you there was nobody who was more Team Declan tonight than Micah. We want to show you his reaction to your goals. Take a look at this.
Total dominance in midfield and the Player of the Season award. Declan Rice's role keeps evolving in ways nobody truly expected when he first arrived at Arsenal. What started as a pure number 6 and later morphed into a left-sided number 8 has now become something far more complex. Rice operates somewhere between both roles, or more accurately, everywhere between both roles, forming a devastatingly complete midfield pivot alongside Martin Zubimendi. And if anyone still doubted how terrifying that version of Rice really is, the performance against Bayern Munich settled everything. He wasn't just good, he was omnipresent. One moment he was bursting beyond Bayern's last defensive line like a second striker, and a second later, he was sprinting 50 yards in reverse to win critical duels, including that late slide challenge on Harry Kane, which Arsenal fans celebrated like it was a goal. This is the new Rice. Relentless, intelligent, constantly reading and rewriting the rhythm of the match. But what truly elevates him into the best midfielder in the world conversation is how many chapters he has added to his game. His set-piece delivery has become nothing short of a weapon. Just months ago, he was nominated for the Puskás Award for the outrageous free kick he scored against Real Madrid in April.
There's no way he does it again. There's no way he does it again. Rice for the double.
And every dead ball he touches now feels like an event. Yet limiting his threat to set pieces would be a mistake. His influence in open play keeps growing because pushing him higher has unlocked the most destructive version of Rice Arsenal have ever had. His 31 Premier League goals and assists across 3 seasons are impressive enough, but to understand his growth, you have to see what he's capable of on the court. Declan Rice has grown enormously since arriving at Arsenal, especially in his offensive contribution, and the Bayern Munich match felt like the moment everything clicked into one complete, terrifying package. It was arguably the most complete game of his professional career, not because of one action, but because every action carried intention, control, and intelligence. And yet, there was one sequence that perfectly captured the full spectrum of what Rice has become under Mikel Arteta. He anticipated the opponent before anyone else even saw the danger, stepped in front, won the ball cleanly, carried it forward with authority, scanned his options in a split second, and released the perfect pass into Eberechi Eze. Eze then played into Gabriel Martinelli, who exploded down the left flank, reached the edge of the box, and delivered a vicious low cross for Nani Madueke to score Arsenal's second goal. A stunning team goal, but one that begins, flows, and breathes through Declan Rice. Another huge step in Rice's evolution is his timing inside the final third. He's now arriving in the right space at the right moment over and over again. A perfect example came against Tottenham. When a defensive clearance fell into a zone Arteta intentionally overloads with bodies, but Rice, operating as a pseudo number 8 in zone 14, was completely free. He played at first time pass into Eberechi Eze, who created just enough room with 2 feints before unleashing a furious strike to score his first of the night. But that entire sequence exists because Rice has transformed his game sense in advanced areas. Against West Ham and Burnley, that evolution was even clearer. Rice now moves into the box like a second striker, timing his surges perfectly during Arsenal's offensive transitions. Playing further forward has unlocked a version of him who is confident stepping into the penalty area, controlling his tempo to keep defenders at arm's length and creating just enough separation to shoot. It's exactly how he scored against West Ham. And again versus Burnley, in a devastating counterattack that started with Victor Jokic launching a sensational switch to Leandro Trossard. Trossard beat his man one-on-one, waited for Rice's arrival, and lofted a slightly delayed ball into his path. Rice adjusted his body brilliantly, met it with a powerful header, and scored a superb goal. It was the goal of a midfielder who now fully understands the art of arriving not too early, not too late, but at the perfect moment to kill. Declan Rice has also shown at Arsenal just how exquisite his long-range shooting really is, and it's one of the weapons that makes him genuinely unplayable. His goal at the Emirates against Newcastle was the perfect example. Standing a few meters outside the box, he unleashed a thunderous strike across the keeper, the kind of hit that bends the entire stadium backwards. Then there was his goal against Chelsea, spotting Robert Sanchez off his line and placing the ball with surgical precision beyond the goalkeeper's reach. And of course, one of his absolute best, that cross-goal rocket against West Ham, when he caught the ball first time and without a moment's hesitation, fired it straight into the top corner. Or the one that felt the most poetic, the first time finish at Old Trafford, opening up his body and sending a vicious angled strike across Andre Onana, who had no chance whatsoever. Rice's right foot isn't just powerful, it's educated, refined, almost academic in its technique. If you notice, every goal is placed into the corners, like his finish against Crystal Palace, always leaving the goalkeeper stretching at full length with no hope. But nowhere did we see the full artistry of his shooting like in those 2 free kicks against Real Madrid. They could not have been more top corner, more aesthetic, more perfectly struck, pure works of art, and a reminder that Rice genuinely has the most technically gifted right foot in football today. And when Rice goes one-on-one, he's brutal. His dribbling ability is strong enough to glide past defenders, and if the goalkeeper steps out, he can eliminate him effortlessly, just like he did against Bournemouth. Inside the box, he becomes a monster, always arriving as the second option at exactly the right time. His goal against Chelsea is a perfect example. The cutback fell to him, and Rice smashed it with fury. No hesitation, no backlift wasted. And then there's his aerial game. His heading is outstanding. His timing, impeccable. He consistently beats his markers, either by accelerating into the space or sneaking behind the defender. And once he gets up, his contact with the ball is clean and decisive. In every sense, Declan Rice has become a complete finisher. Martin Zubimendi is one of the best deep-lying midfielders in Europe, and his arrival has allowed Declan Rice to evolve into a fully fledged box-to-box midfielder, but with a twist. The Spaniard's presence means Rice often starts deeper alongside him. Yet, this positioning actually empowers the Englishman to use his explosive running power to surge into Arsenal's attacks with even more control. The numbers prove it. Rice leads Arsenal this season in total ball carries, 147, passes played into the box, 57, and chances created with Bukayo Saka on 13. His recent level has even pushed Patrick Vieira to describe him as a complete midfielder. A compliment that carries enormous weight coming from the greatest midfield general Arsenal ever had. His change of pace is devastating. His long runs through midfield are magnificent, and once he opens his stride, he becomes almost impossible to catch. You can see it perfectly in the match against PSG. He absolutely destroyed Luis Enrique's midfield with a single tempo shift, driving through the center and turning a harmless phase of play into a 2 versus 2 against PSG's defenders. That trade alone has created countless goals for Arsenal, like his assist to Thomas Partey at the Emirates, a sequence born purely from Rice's ability to break lines with power and precision. And this burst isn't only about attacking, it's also a major defensive weapon. Against Manchester City, he showed how dangerous he is in the high press, sprinting at maximum speed, sliding in cleanly, and leaving the ball perfectly on a plate for Kai Havertz inside the box. Unfortunately, Havertz missed, but the action itself revealed Rice's elite instincts. And then there were his 2 legendary defensive recoveries, one against City and one against Liverpool.
3 to his right from Mo Salah. Trent Alexander.
Both times using his pace, timing, and defensive intelligence to prevent certain goals. It's this dual nature, destroyer and creator, defender and attacker, that makes Declan Rice the true heartbeat of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. It's one of the strangest quirks in Mikel Arteta's entire revolution at Arsenal. One of his most devastating attacking weapons was discovered almost by accident.
Freaking! Oh my God, Rice, baby. Wow. Wow, what a goal. Honestly, I can't explain. The first one was good. This one.
Arteta, a manager obsessed with detail, with control, with planning every tiny variable of the match, never imagined that so many of Arsenal's goals would begin not with Odegaard's genius, not with Saka's magic, but with the right boot of Declan Rice. When Arsenal paid £105 million for him in 2023, no one at the club believed that he would become the best set-piece taker in Europe. He was signed to run the midfield, to organize the game, to lead the team from the center. For the first 6 months, he barely took a corner or a free kick. Arsenal wanted him heading them in, not taking them. Yet here we are. Rice's delivery from wide areas has become arguably the most dangerous weapon in Arteta's entire toolbox. Since January of 2024, when he began taking corners and free kicks regularly, he has created 11 goals from set pieces in the Premier League. No other player has more than 5. That means Rice has been twice as effective as any footballer in England's top flight over the past 2 years. And if you widen the scope to Europe's top 5 leagues, the story is the same. Rice stands alone, the most productive set piece creator on the continent. As a kid, Rice idolized David Beckham. He even owned a Real Madrid shirt with Beckham's name printed on the back. Today, the resemblance is uncanny. The technique, the whip, the trajectory, the consistency, it's Beckham-esque. Only 2 more corner assists separate Rice from Beckham's entire Premier League output, and at this rate, he will surpass him soon. His England form only confirms it. Rice's corners and free kicks have produced 3 goals in England's last 3 matches. What makes the number even more absurd is that Rice only takes corners from the left side. Arsenal prefer a left footer for in-swingers from the right. Yet even with that limitation, his efficiency dwarfs modern specialists like Alexander-Arnold, Trippier, and Ward-Prowse. Yes, Arsenal have giants in the box, Saliba, Gabriel, Nketiah, and yes, Nicolas Jover's routines are elite. but the precision of the delivery is what makes the entire machine work. And Rice has proven this quality on the biggest stages, against the biggest clubs. Liverpool,
Rice's delivery. It's another great delivery.
PSG, Newcastle, Atlético de Madrid, Bayern Munich, it doesn't matter how tall or physical they are, his deliveries cut through them all. Some assists are dramatics, like the laser-guided ball versus Bayern. Others are simple, intelligent passes like the ones to Trossard against Watford.
Turn it to Havertz, Rice, Trossard!
Or the perfectly weighted delivery that opened the door for Lewis Skelly to score against Manchester City. But every one of them reflects the same truth. He is a natural provider, a playmaker from dead balls in the purest Beckham fashion. Put all of this together, his domination in open play, his midfield completeness, his set-piece genius, and it's impossible to deny it anymore. Declan Rice, alongside Pedri, is the best center midfielder in the world right now.